The Nuggets eliminated the Blazers in the playoffs, and a lot of people, including myself, thought the Blazers were going to win that series because the Nuggets were without Jamal Murray and Will Barton, and Damian Lillard felt the same way. He said that we can't beat a team without their starting point guard and shooting guard. We're clearly not good enough. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but that's basically what he said.
That's what he said.
And this leads to a couple questions and loopholes about the story of the Portland Trail Blazers in this era of their basketball. One is are Dame and CJ going to play together ever again, or is this it for them? And also, who's going to be their next head coach? Dame said he wanted Jason Kidd as a head coach, and Jason Kidd then put out a statement very shortly, like right after, and said, Portland's a first-class organization and will have great candidates for its head coaching job, but I've decided not to be one of them. And that was Dame's guy. He wanted Jason Kidd. To be fair, he also wanted Chauncey Billups, but
Chauncey's on the run right now.
With Jason Kidd saying he doesn't want to go to Portland, does Kidd know something that we don't, that Dame has told him he doesn't want to be in Portland? Because Boston has also said, there were a report that came out, they didn't say it, but there was a report that came out that they are going to look closely into trading for Dame, and Jason Kidd is going to be one of the candidates for their head coaching position. So maybe this is Jason Kidd and Dame thinking, let's try to make our way to Boston.
And I think that would be a great thing because I feel like if they can find a way to keep JB and JT, that'd be a great team. You know, they can compete. I'm not saying they'll be better than Brooklyn. You know, Brooklyn still got.
It would be close.
Yes, I'm saying that would be a 6-7 game dogfight. You know, they still have KD and Harden who are clearly better than the three, but it'd still be a dogfight. They'll be right up there in the East. It'll be another great team. But even if they keep Dame and JT, you know, I still think that'd be an impressive duo. They'll still be one of the top 3-4 teams in the East. But like you said, Jason Kidd, Dame, they're cooking up something. I don't know what it is, but they're definitely cooking up some ideas. Unless Chauncey gets to Portland first and finds a way to keep Dame there, then obviously, because I think Chauncey has a lot of respect in the league, and I was just talking about him last week. He has a lot of respect in the league as a coach, as an assistant. The Clippers players love him. People around the league love him. Dame has actually talked about Chauncey a lot, helping him work on his game. Now, with Dame and CJ, I've went on the record, I've talked to my friends about this. I don't think CJ can be the second best player on a team that's trying to win a championship. I think Dame is that. And the reason why I say that is because I think, like I've said on the record, I think in this league right now, you need a dominant wing to go coexist with your guards. Steph, KD, LeBron, Kyrie. Even San Antonio was kind of like, they weren't dominant, but it was Kawhi, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan. Like you saw they all complemented each other. You need a wing to complement your point guard, or a big to complement your wing, or a big to complement your point guard. Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, you know, Chris Paul, Devin Booker. You need the complement. I don't think Dame and CJ complement, and here's why. Both of them don't play defense. You know, that's been on the record. CJ, you see he tries on defense, but he's not a good defender. Dame's not a good defender. Both of them are ISO heavy. They ISO a lot. They want to score a lot. Dame can be a great playmaker, but that's not his fortune. He's not that. So it's like you got two guys that do the same thing. One guy just does it at a higher level. I don't think that can ever coexist because if I have a partner, he needs to coexist for my weaknesses. For example, Kawhi and PG. You know, Paul George is a great playmaker. Kawhi is a dominant scorer. They compensate. Kawhi is not a great playmaker. Paul George is. They both play defense. LeBron and AD. AD is the consistent defender. LeBron is not the consistent defender. AD takes up the things that LeBron can't do. LeBron is a great playmaker. AD is not a great playmaker. You need guys that complement you. So I think with that being said, you know, I think Portland is in a position right now. I think 2019 was their last chance, you know, when they went to the WCF and they played Steph. That was their window. You know, they had an opportunity to beat them without KD. They were up big on a few games, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was in Portland. They was up big, blew those games. I think that was the end for them. And like he said, losing to a team that we both had Portland winning because no Jamal Murray. We thought, all right, it's just the Joker. We thought Dame, and credit, Dame showed up. You know, Dame did his thing, but we thought they was going to win. They were healthy.
CJ didn't.
Yeah, CJ played horrible. Nurkic just got destroyed, but we expected that. Robert Covington, he's just irrelevant.
Nurkic didn't get destroyed.
All right, he didn't get destroyed, but we expected.
It was Canner mostly.
And Robert Covington is really just there for no reason. So I think Portland is in a position where they should blow it up. You can get a lot back for Dame and CJ. Even you can get a draft pick out of Nurkic So I think you should definitely blow it up and start over, honestly.
I think this is the last time that we've seen Dame and CJ play together. I think they won't be on Portland next year, or at least one of them won't be on Portland next year. And it's been something that the NBA media and fans have been talking about for a while. They can't win together. And CJ McCollum at one point went on First Take, and Stephen A. Smith literally told him to his face, you can't win together.
Katie said the same thing.
Yes, and CJ was like, why can't we, whatever. He defended it, as he should. But now this has run its course. This duo has run its course. Terry Stotts fired. We'll talk about him next segment. And I have a couple trade ideas. I think the Celtics, obviously one of them, and it would be 2 packages. Kemba and picks for Dame, which means that basically the Blazers are just getting the
nothing.
same thing, getting a worse version of Dame, basically.
And there are no picks because Boston will be a good team for years to come.
Or they also get Kemba, because I think Kemba has to be in the deal. They are not going to trade Jaylen Brown for Dame. They want that big 3 of Tatum, Brown, and Dame. They're not going to trade. They're not going to trade Jaylen Brown. The other trade is Kemba Walker, Aaron Nesmith, Grant Williams, and picks.
Grant Williams is terrible.
Grant Williams is terrible, but he does add some defense. Or they can get an even better player. Maybe they get Robert Williams.
Or Romeo Langford.
Or they can get Peyton Pritchard. But they do have Anthony Simons. But I think Kemba has to be involved in that deal. So Kemba, Nesmith, who can hopefully be that 3-and-D guy that I think I was really high on him coming out of the draft. And I think maybe a trade package like that can work. And some other teams that make sense are Milwaukee. I think
that's Dame, the one I've been thinking about.
Dame and Giannis. I think Giannis can be the best player on a championship team, but he can't be the first scoring option. And I think Dame takes that pressure off him. And even between Dame and Giannis, between who's a better player, it really depends on nights, because Dame can, on any given night, can be the best player on the floor that features Giannis.
And I think that would be the thing that they need. They need Dame to be that scoring guy, that clutch guy down the stretch. Giannis can take care of everything on defense, and then offensively run the pick and roll. I think that was actually one of the things I was thinking of. Milwaukee needs to.
And maybe trading Middleton. He could be the trade guy.
And you keep Drew, because I think right now it's not looking too good for Chris Middleton.
Yes, but that's the thing. That's like, why would Portland want to move laterally? Because I think if they trade, the Bucks don't have no picks.
What about the Knicks?
The Bucks have that. I was going to get to that. But first, the Bucks have no picks. They traded all of them to the Pelicans for Jrue Holiday. The Knicks are another one, because I would trade Julius Randle for Dame.
I don't even think you have to, though.
You don't think so?
No.
Who?
You have.
I don't want to trade RJ.
No, you wouldn't. I think you have like, what, Dallas's pick.
We have the 19th and 21st pick in the draft.
Okay, you give those 2 up. You're probably going to have to give about 2 more up.
Well, you have to give up a player, a solid young player.
Quickly.
I don't want to give up quickly.
Don't do it. You sound like Miami with Tyler Hero. Don't do it.
I'm just saying, I like quickly. I don't want to give up quickly.
I think Miami and the Knicks will have the best packages for Dame.
Miami and the Knicks?
I think because Miami has young players. You guys have young players. Even if you give up Randall, I think Randall should stay. But that's not. It depends on the RJ leap. That's not the hero there, though. I think you guys, though, with your young talent, Hero.
I'll tell you this. This is why I say Randall. Because I think if Dame comes to New York, he is not coming to New York alone. If he wants to go to New York, it's because Kawhi just got eliminated. Decline your player option. Let's go to New York. Now Kawhi and Dame teaming up. That's why I think Randall has to be featured.
Okay.
Because I don't think I think the Knicks are not going to have cap space to get Dame and then sign another max superstar type of player, which would be Kawhi if we're talking about this free agency.
Right.
And it could potentially happen.
That's why it's really a wait and see process. Monitoring the situation is definitely huge, because if Kawhi ends up re-signing, then you will have to wait another year, which is another year off Dame, to get another guy. But I think getting Dame would definitely put you guys in a position to get somebody else.
The thing about it, too, is that I think Dame wants to compete for a championship. And if he's being honest with himself, the Knicks are not that right now. Even if he does team up with Randall in our given roster.
I don't think he'll ever go to the Lakers, though. He's not that type of guy.
I think the Celtics have a chance, though.
Yeah.
The Bucks have, too. They do. And the Heat are in a better position than the Knicks. It's really about what he wants to do, because he could compete for a championship legitimately with a Miami, a Milwaukee, Lakers,
What about
a
Philly?
Celtics team. Philly's another one. They can give up Ben Simmons. They're another one. But with the Knicks, he won't compete for a championship, but he'd be glorified in the city.
I think
certain.
In a year,
And he'd get a bunch of those high market deals that he didn't get in Portland. He'd be so much richer with endorsements if he were in New York and brought greater life to the city, because Julius Randle did it somewhat.
Yeah.
He brought a lot of energy to the city. He actually did it a lot. I'm really minimizing his impact. Dame is going to do it
tenfold.
He's going to skyrocket the Knicks' popularity and how much people talk about them because of how good and electric he's going to be in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think like all those teams, Philly, Miami, the Knicks, Milwaukee, Boston, should definitely make a play and monitor this issue. But, Portland, they have to figure out what they're going to do. And like speaking on Portland side, you got a lot of guys who can get you a lot of trade back and get you a lot of value in these upcoming drafts. You can still keep your young talent in Anthony Simmons, but Covington, Melo, Nurkic, CJ, Dame, you really need to let them go. It's about time.
I don't think Nurkic has to go. He's young.
Yeah, but he'll be 27. I don't see why keeping him is like, what are you keeping him for?
Because he's a really good player.
Yeah, but it's just
Melo's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, he'll be gone this offseason, but it's just reminding you of the old.
I don't think so. I think he could stay.
I
think he could.
You would have to pay him.
Who cares?
I wouldn't pay. No.
He's not. It's not like he's going to demand max money.
He's demand like 15, 20 mil. I'm not paying Nurkic 20 mil.
Nurkic is a really good player when healthy.
He is, but Portland's not in that situation.
I don't think it's anything wrong with making.
I think you can get
somewhat good.
I think you can get more back with trading for him. Trade him away.
How much can you get back though? Because he's injury prone.
Probably like a first rounder.
I don't know. I think you're kind of overvaluing his trade.
You don't think you can get a first value?
His trade value. Maybe. It depends. But like a low-level first rounder, why would you do that for Nurkic? Nurkic is a really good player.
If he plays.
Yes, I think he's a really good player, though. He's 26 years old.
No, he'll be 27.
Let me see. I'm going to search up his contract because I want to see how long. They already have him on a 4-year deal.
How much?
$12 million.
Oh, okay. Then they can keep him then.
Yes.
I thought his contract would be up next year.
It is up next year.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But I still think that they should keep him. I don't see any point of not keeping Nurkic. I like Nurkic.
Yeah, I wouldn't keep him. Not because he's garbage or anything. I just feel like, start over. Because if, say, for example, you get a draft pick and there's a big man that you're about to pick in the draft, why would you keep Nurkic?
Because he's better.
But he's just going to hinder the development of the big.
Personally, for me, I think Tom Thibodeau kind of showcased this with the Knicks.
Right.
You emphasize winning over development at certain times. If Thibodeau went to the Knicks and said, we're going to develop, Knox would have been playing.
Right.
Burks wouldn't have been playing. Bullock wouldn't have been playing.
I think that's a different situation, though.
Taj Gibson wouldn't have been having those minutes.
That's true.
So I think you need to emphasize winning, and you can't completely just tank and trust the process like Philly did, especially with how the draft lottery is now.
Yeah,
I think Nurkic is a good player, and in any Dame package, you are going to get more than just picks. You are going to get Chris Middleton. You are going to get a Kemba Walker. You are going to get a Emmanuel Quickly or a Randall or a RJ Barrett. You're going to get a really good young player, maybe Obi Toppin. We don't know. So you're going to get a young player. So the Blazers aren't going to be a completely trash team. They're going to have a Middleton, Nurkic with, some other players, especially if they keep CJ too, because we're not sure if he's going to get traded or not. I think right now the main piece is Dame, because I think Dame is gone, but CJ might still be there.
Yeah, I can see it. It can make sense.